Every Simpsons fan knows Moe's Tavern well. I mean, it's not a very complicated building. The room is a giant square. There's the bar area, the booths, the pool table, the love tester, the jukebox. We're here to drink and have a good time. What could possibly be mysterious about this place? Okay, so where is this room in Moe's Tavern, and how do you get there? How about this room? Or this room? Wait, is Moe actually living here? Today, we're looking at the many configurations of Moe's Tavern to try to figure out what secret is Moe hiding about his back room. Ooh, it's the long-awaited sequel to the Simpsons house video. Who would have thought we'd be going to Moe's next? To be honest, I've always found this location to be mysterious in general. Partially because Moe himself is so shady and enigmatic. You never know what this guy is up to. But also because its design went through several revisions and tweaks over the years. They kept adding elements and moving them around, depending on what is needed for a particular episode. For example, let's examine the Season 1 version of Moe's. In some respects, this prototype does resemble the final layout. When you enter, the bar area is on the right side with booths on the left, a TV up top, and a phone on the far end for pranks. This room is a bit narrower overall, with space for seating, and that's it. The biggest difference is its entrance with the saloon doors and an adjoining room. Perhaps just an entranceway, where you could hang your coat or buy cigarettes or whatever. The bar could be behind a restaurant for all we know, since we never go over there. The other strange thing about Season 1 Moe's was its color scheme. The first 3 appearances were various shades of blue, then it went gray for Moaning Lisa, red for the Telltale Head, and back to blue for its final 2 appearances. I guess Moe was trying out different looks. When I think of Season 1 Moe's, I think of the cool blues, like it's permanently 55 degrees Fahrenheit in there. Starting in Season 2, we get the expanded layout that we're all familiar with. They turn the narrow rectangular room into a square, freeing up the middle for a pool table for a more versatile meeting space. They eliminated the front room and saloon doors, simplifying the entrance with the front door opening directly to the street. The exterior did go through one major revision during the Simpsons Classic era. In the old days, there used to be an arrow on the side, pointing patrons to the entrance. We can see it particularly well in Homer and Delilah, for example. I really like that they designed this pragmatic detail into the world of The Simpsons. We see this kind of thing in real-life buildings, that people could enter not from the designated TV camera direction. Not that The Simpsons actually use this parking area that much. Marge takes drunken Homer back in a flashback, Homer proudly shows off his personalized space, and Snake gets tased by the cops over there. I guess Homer is standing there in this Cheers homage. We regularly see these side windows in the background, but there's not much reason to actually go over there. In fact, they eventually got rid of that arrow altogether around Season 6. It does come back randomly a couple times in Seasons 7 and 8, maybe Bill and Josh were nostalgic. But generally, when you see this arrow, you're in the first half of the classic era. Moe's wasn't next door to King Toots originally. In fact, quite famously, it's next to an electronics store in the opening sequence. King Toots was an invention for Season 3's Lisa's Pony, where they needed it next door for plot reasons. But they made this one-off change permanent. There's like 5 episodes where the business's proximity actually matters, and they kept King Toots there anyway as an institution. Funnily enough, in Lisa Sachs, where it actually would matter, Moe's is near the air conditioner store and King Toots is across the street. I actually kind of love this stupid problem that they ran into. That Homer and Lisa leave Moe's and need to see the air conditioners first, but King Toots is normally next door. The one time this comes up, and they have to cheat it. So annoying. Let's just say King Toots' rent was too high across the street, and it was cheaper to move next door to Moe's. Of course, in other episodes, like Who Shot Mr. Burns and Homer the Moe, it's completely demolished. I guess Mr. Toot couldn't stand being next to such a postmodern establishment. Anyway, we'll talk about this guy later. Let's go over the interior. Moe's Tavern is an interesting location from a staging perspective, in how like 95% of the action is centered around the main bar area. We either get the Moe facing shot with the mirror in the background, or we get the various reverse shots from Moe's perspective, or showing the action from the back. But obviously, it's all centered around this focal point. If characters were anywhere else in the room, it's quite unusual. For example, can you think of any time that anyone has actually played pool? Like these guys in the early years, here's Lenny and Carl in the Chili Pepper episode. They use it for Homer's brain surgery and for the book writing operation. But it's like 10 times in 30-something years. Same with the Love Tester. It wasn't originally part of the Season 2 redesign. It didn't show up until it was needed for Flaming Moe's, and, much like King Toots, stuck around afterward. Well, sorta. The Love Tester disappears regularly or moves around. But they use it like 6 or 7 times in series history. Still, considering it got an entire anthology segment, it's hard to argue it's not a little iconic. Somewhat surprisingly, they don't cheat as much as you'd think when they do a big redesign. Like, take Uncle Moe's family feed bag. It looks pretty big in there, right? Like a full-size family restaurant. But if you look closely at the layout, it's mostly the same as before. We have the booths against the wall and the bar on the other side. The key difference is that he removed the pool table to insert a row of booths. I've watched Bart Sells His Soul dozens of times and had never really considered that Moe's can only really fit, 8 booths in there? They do a great job making it seem like it's bigger than it is. M is a slightly different story. You get a booth in the front corner, beanbag chairs in the back corner, and a hamster wheel in the middle. I suppose this is the same room as before. At the end, everything is back to normal after all. When they turned Moe's into a British pub, they basically knocked down the whole thing and totally rebuilt it. However, when turning it into a gay bar in Season 22, we get the more traditional layout again, with classy seating areas on the opposite side. You might say this layout is serving looks. You've probably noticed that I haven't talked about this back area yet. That's because this is the shenanigans zone, where there are no rules and the writers do whatever they want. Oh sure, they've used this area a few times in their early days, like for Super Bowl Sunday, the Flaming Moe's stage and salad bar, and the bull riding machine decision that Moe stands by. Oh, and sometimes there's a jukebox. I guess they've used this a few times. But generally, when a character goes over here, some weird shit is about to happen. So, you see this hallway back there? It first appeared in Season 3. Oh look, now it's an entranceway instead of a hallway. Oh, now it's a door. Now the door is moved over here. This is gonna get really messy really quickly, isn't it? Let's start out chronologically and get a sense of what they're doing with this space. The first time anyone goes into this back area was in Flaming Moe's. Homer crawls through this little window, meets Barney in the bathroom, and exits directly into the bar. So we know for sure that there's a men's room. 2 years later, we see it again, when the group finds Barney singing in the bathroom. Once again, the men's room door is directly against the wall. A couple episodes later, now there's a door labeled Keep Out, leading to Moe's shady panda smuggling operation in the back room. During the Uncle Moe's remodel, the men's room has now turned into a kitchen. Please tell me that Moe wasn't cooking in a bathroom. We know beer deliveries come from that area thanks to Homer the Smithers, so there must be some kind of back entrance. Maybe it's this door in the bathroom? Season 8 gives us 3 different looks. The Homer They Fall reveals that Moe turned the women's restroom into an office. The Springfield Files brings back the Keep Out door, with a new shady operation. By the way, we get a follow-up in Season 9 with this Deer Hunter parody. In the Twisted World of Marge Simpson, this door goes directly into the men's restroom. Oh, Fat Tony. Season 9 uses this as a restroom 2 more times. Once in the premiere with Barney in the morning, and later in Dumbbell Indemnity, both Renee and Barney use it. I guess Moe deconverted his office. As you can see, they're all over the place in terms of what is behind that back wall and where. Honestly, the original entrance with the hallway makes the most logical sense. How you can see the back exit and 2 doors, presumably the men and women's rooms, and this would leave space on the opposite side for the shady back room. However, in the large majority of scenes, they go with this little entranceway instead, implying 2 rooms back there. Curiously, these rooms occasionally move to this side wall over here. For example, in Season 9's Last Temptation of Crust, look at this bathroom door that Jay Leno comes out of. It can't be the back wall due to the stage location and with Krusty exiting to the alley later. Now, there is some precedent for this, as we've seen Moe crawl behind that wall once before in 22 short films about Springfield. But this area is tricky, because the other side of this wall is King Toots. This implies that Moe's cuts into the back half of the neighboring building. As another example, in Season 18, after Moe seemingly provides good advice, the camera pans through this wall to reveal the real Moe bound and gagged in this mysterious room. In the gay bar makeover, Smithers pulls Moe into the storage area over there. In other episodes, they rebuild a model train from that side, Moe writes on his computer, and he goes over there to peep on Marge. I'm going to call this the secret passage wall, because yeah, most of the time, we see nothing there. Moe uses this back room for many curious activities, aside from beer storage. He regularly hosts poker nights there, where sentimental violins, tech company shares, and Bandcamp money gets won and lost. They use it as a waiting area before their big improv show. Moe obtains some Africanized bees that he keeps for hot bee sex. After Lenny proves that he can fit himself into a suitcase, it's revealed that Moe is keeping other people inside luggage back there. He has an illegal key operation going on. Homer uses this back room for his weed dispensary, using the adjoining bathroom to flush any evidence. In a flashback, Moe is keeping a bunch of missing children back there. But don't worry, this isn't creepy at all, because they're just making little umbrellas for him. Not creepy at all. This back room is where Moe kills Jimbo Dolphin Kearney. And finally, this is the site of Moe trying to end it all in Season 24, much to the shock of the barflies. Now, to be fair, it's not like Moe's back room is Herman's military antiques, where only shady stuff happens. The later seasons like turning into a bedroom, implying that Moe lives in his bar. He's had Kemi, a Nigerian princess, sleep over, as well as Maya when they reunited in Season 33. I don't know how I feel about this change. No, not about women liking Moe, I mean the bedroom itself. They've been doing this since Season 20, but I kinda miss Moe having a shitty apartment or house. I guess it's easier to condense this into one location. I mean, the Belcher family live above their restaurant, why can't Moe do something similar? Although, we know Moe can't live above his tavern, because that's where Barney lived in that Season 11 episode. I'm not even gonna try to explain this one. Personally, I'm still waiting for those rafters from Flaming Moe's to return. Interestingly, Moe's Tavern also somehow has a basement. I mean, there is an entire Treehouse segment based around the premise that he has one. I know this is a play, but still. Like the Simpson house, it's another situation where placing basement stairs seems physically impossible. But these are much more straightforward and simple. There is either a ladder or stairs where Moe normally stands. In Season 18, he hides Homer's platoon down there, and in Season 32, the bar regulars stay down there with keg storage. And of course, that's where Moe is keeping Hans Moleman. In that Treehouse segment where Moe kills the bullies, he uses the love tester to reveal a secret underground compound beneath the pool table. Wow, the back room, the love tester, the pool table, and the basement. This segment is like a Moe's Tavern bingo. This is obviously just a one-off, but I do like the idea of there being a basement. A lot of older restaurants and taverns have these spaces for extra storage, even if going up and down the stairs is a pain in the ass after beer deliveries. If you want to know about the biggest oddities of Moe's Tavern, we need to check out the back alley. As mentioned earlier, we know that there's a back entrance for deliveries. We've even seen Lisa exit in this direction and go around the building in Trilogy of Error. For once, having a second exit is serving the plot. Season 26's Covercraft actually starts in the back alley, where Moe and King Toot have a huge brawl over him using Moe's dumpster. We've seen Bart navigating that area a couple times. However, in Season 20's Eeny Teeny Maya Mo, it's revealed there is actually a large playground behind Mo's. In fact, there is no back area at all, and instead, there's a secret window. The bathroom seems to be situated in the back of King Toots in this example. In Season 30, this mysterious garden area reappears, hosting a wedding between Mo and his mail-order bride. This version does have a back room, however. Personally, I like to believe that every configuration of Mo's belongs to a different universe. There is the bathroom universe, the back room universe, the side door universe, the garden universe. I mean, look at this example from Treehouse of Horror 13, where there's a piano set up next to the Keep Out door that Homer gets pulled into. And in Season 15's Codependence Day, there's the piano next to the Keep Out door again, thereby proving that Codependence Day lives in the Nightmare universe. It's seamless, huh? Obviously, the real answer is that the writers and animators cheat a lot. They write small wrinkles into these scenes and create rooms out of nowhere. I think Mo's Tavern is different from the Simpsons house in that was mostly about subtle manipulations, moving around familiar locations to make their jokes work. It's a matter of tricking our memories in terms of how these various set pieces are connected. Whereas Mo's Tavern has a much more specific purpose. We go to Mo's to talk to Mo. Of course they wouldn't use the booths that much, because why go to this set piece to have a side conversation away from Mo? So everything away from the bar may as well exist in a dream state. I remember visiting Mo's at Universal and being amazed by how little of it I have actually ever looked at. We don't question why the door to Mo's keeps changing colors. We don't notice the cigarette machine or the fan above the door. We don't question what kind of business Mo is operating behind the scenes. Mo's Tavern is essentially a set piece with a mysterious pocket dimension attached to it, where a backrooms area must exist from a practicality perspective, but no one ever decided where it is or what it looks like. So every time we go back there, it's like exploring the forbidden closet of mystery. What is this room? Should we really be back here? Are we about to be trapped in luggage? I don't trust Mo, and I don't trust his floor plan. So, if you're ever in Springfield, feel free to stop by Mo's for a beer. Just please, for the love of God, stay away from that back wall.